welcome to today's video where I will be talking about how much weight I have put on, or did I even put on any at all, since I broke my 21-day water fast 6 months ago. If you're new here, you did not hear wrong. I completed a 21-day water fast a few months ago where I consumed nothing but water, the occasional lemon and ACV juice mixture, no food, definitely no food at all, and coffee without sugar. Again, those were pretty sporadic, and majority of the time what I had was just water. I don't know how I did it, but I did it for 21 days and I lost around 10.6 kilograms. I'm going to insert the video somewhere over here so that you can check it out after you've watched this. But one of the most popular questions that I've been getting since then is whether I have put on any weight since my water fast. So I have come to you guys today in the exact same outfit that I was wearing when I broke the fast that shows you how much weight I lost at the time. And in this video, you're going to see what my current status is, whether I have put on all the weight back on, and what I've been doing to keep myself basically physically healthy since I broke my fast. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video where you're going to get to see all of the before and after pictures. You can compare and see for yourself what it looks like 6 months after a 21-day water fast. But first, I'm also going to talk about some of the most popular questions that you've been asking me, such as what I did to break my fast, which is the refeeding process, what I've been doing since to keep the weight off, or have I gained any at all? And importantly, you also know what has really affected my diet and my mental health, physical, everything in the past 6 months that may have had an impact on how much or how little I have gained since my water fast ended. So let's dive right into it. And if you're new here, I have to remind you, make sure that you like, you subscribe, and you favorite this channel, especially if you're into up-leveling and becoming the best version of yourself. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Dels. I'm a lawyer, entrepreneur who is super duper fascinated with all things optimization, whether that's optimizing your career, optimizing yourself physically, etc. So if that's something that sounds good to you, then do make sure that you subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, hi and welcome back. I'm going to be looking at my phone just because I don't want to miss any of the questions. I wrote them all down. We are going to start with how much weight did I put on immediately after breaking the water fast. So my understanding of the water fasting process is that you get really lean because your body is not retaining as much water as I guess it does normally, because every single thing that you eat, well, most of them anyway, like your carbohydrates in particular, actually contain water. So if you're eating, solid foods, then you are retaining water. But if you're just drinking water, everything is passing through your system. And again, I understand that this is one of the reasons why sometimes it feels like you're losing your energy and your electrolytes, which is why I definitely supplement on electrolytes. I've talked about that in the video that I'm going to post up here or even in the description box below. So when I finished my fast, I think a week after, you could already tell the difference in my face. It was a lot fuller. When I ended the fast, you can see in the video where I was having my bone broth that my face was super duper lean. And then about a week later, it was kind of filling up again as I started to eat more food. And this leads me on to the next question, which is, what did I do to break my fast? You guys are lucky because this is live on YouTube. You can see me having my first meal, and the first thing that I had was bone broth. The reason why I did this is, honestly, you cannot assault your system by going straight from not eating to diving into solid food. Bone broth was one of the things that I researched is really, really good for you because it has lots of minerals and things like that. I know that some people talk about fruit juices, but honestly, one of the reasons why I did the water fast was to curb my sugar addiction, and I didn't want to dive right back on that wagon wheel because I knew that wouldn't work for me. Also, it didn't make sense when I thought about it logically. Like, if your body has been super clean, why would you want to have so much like sugar straight away? So I kind of steered clear of that, and I'm just going to point out at this point that there are going to be before and after pictures of what I looked like at the end of my fast, way back, I think it was in April, and what I look like now, so that you can see the difference in my face, my measurements and things like that. So don't worry, I've got you guys, just stay tuned to the end of this video, but we're going to slide all of those right in. The next thing is, what have I been eating since I finished my fast? Because, okay, hint, hint, in terms of my weight, I'm not sure if you think there's much of a difference since I broke the fast and now, But what I've been doing is I initially started off with a slow and gentle refeed. And even the bone broth that I was having and stews that I was having, guys, was just causing an explosion in my stomach. My stomach just couldn't handle it because I hadn't been consuming that much food. But then after about a week or two, I started to ease into proper foods again. And I will talk about what I ate like after that in a different video. But primarily I went keto, right? And I did this for a time. I just really tried to reduce the number of carbohydrates that I was having, because when you do an extended fast, your body goes into ketosis. So I wanted to continue to encourage my body to burn fat rather than glucose. So I continued on that diet. Unfortunately, this ended around mid-June, because you may have seen me talk about this on Instagram or kind of allude to it on YouTube, but I wasn't quite, and I'm still not ready to really talk about it. But I had a really tough time in June because my dad passed away, which was, the last thing I wanted to think about at that point in time was a diet or anything like that. Was not on my radar. But I'm definitely not one of those people who doesn't eat when they are sad. For me, food is a constant in my life. I'm always thinking about food. And of course, when you're bereaved, that was my first major loss in time. I didn't care about a diet, but I also didn't want to deprive myself or get into that space where I just wasn't eating, because there was so much for me to handle. And if you don't have fuel, how do you organize a funeral? How do you support your family and things like that? So for me, food was quite important. Luckily, I was with my family and they do not know anything about keto. They are not about that at all. Nigerian families put all of the love and carbs in their food. So in that time, I went from having primarily keto-based meals to going back to eating carbs. And I was eating, I don't know how many calories I was eating, but not that much, pretty like constant. I'd probably say maybe around 1,200 to 1,500 calories a day. I was so conscious about the fact that I really needed to keep myself mentally and physically strong. So I did not care about any sort of diet. And since then, guys, I haven't really been on keto. I've done the occasional 24-hour, or I think for a time I did about 4 days or something, a short fast. Nothing as intense as a 21-day water fast. I don't want this video to get super duper long. I've already talked about the foods that I ate during my water fast, quote unquote foods, because, you guys ask me a lot, like, what do you have? Is there anything that you can have during the water fast? The main answer is no, but you can see what I consumed in a video somewhere over here. If it's not linked over here, because I'm sure I'm probably pointing at the wrong direction, check below in the description box. Did I gain the weight back? When I broke my fast, I was around 7.4 to 7, what was it? Yeah, 7.5 or something kilograms. I will show you guys some screenshots so that you can see where I started from and where I currently am right now. I'm filming this video in the evening. I have already had a meal, and I think when I stepped on the scales, I was around like 75.3 kilograms. I'm going to try again tomorrow morning so that you can see the difference, because when you weigh yourself, you should usually do that in the morning before you've eaten anything. So my historical data was based on the fact that I weighed myself in the morning. To summarize, I ended around 74.7 kilograms and I am now around 75.5 or 6 kg. I will again put that screenshot over there. And you can see I didn't actually put on that much weight, which is incredible. If you guys want to know why I've been able to keep it off, like I said, even though I experienced the bereavement, I didn't stop eating, then I can talk about that in another video. I'm just conscious of this one being way too long. You can pop your questions, your queries and stuff below, and I will make sure that I get to them. In terms of what I am doing now, I think my main focus is just on going with the flow. I really can't see myself doing another 21-day water fast. I don't feel the strong pull to do that anymore. And of course, it's a lot harder now because we are still like, yes, in the global pandemic, depending on whenever you're watching this video, but the lockdown is not as strict anymore. And, now I have to be around my family, I'm in a relationship, and all of those things make it a bit harder to fast. But luckily, I'm still focused on my health and wellness, and I'm doing a number of things to make sure that I stay consistent and even get fitter and fitter and fitter. So I hope that this video has been helpful. It's giving you some insight into what someone who has done an extended fast looks like, what they look like 6 months down the line, and how they've been keeping the weight off and just going on post such a really restrictive diet. So let me know if you have enjoyed this video, like I said, by showing some love, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.